Hey everyone, it's Erica Holland, certified ballroom dance instructor and personal trainer. Here are my thoughts on last night's Dancing with the Stars dedication night. First off, I thought all of the pro and troupe numbers were really great. Loved the choreography and the diversity of the choreography. I also really loved Kim Johnson as a guest judge. She looked beautiful and she gave really good feedback. I was a little shocked that no one got eliminated, but I do understand it was such a raw and emotional night. And the last few eliminations have been very shocking. So I think we kind of needed a break from the eliminations. And I think also the dancers needed that as well. First off, we had Andy and Emma with a salsa. I am a huge Harry Belafonte fan, and I also thought his daughter danced really well. It feels like Andy has been getting the same critiques over and over again. And even with the judges, I can tell in their faces that they don't even know how to reframe their critiques because something is not clicking. Once again, he has made it through, and I'm going to keep encouraging him to dig deep and try his best. But I really don't know what to say for Andy anymore. I just don't. And once again, Dancing with the Stars is Operation Warp Speed. In a traditional ballroom setting, we would be working on this for months and months on end before we even present it to a competitive floor. So Andy would have more grace in the real world competitive sphere, but on Dancing with the Stars, he has to grow as quick as possible. So I can see why that is a challenge for him. We have Robert and Whitney with their contemporary. I'm going to be very honest. I cried throughout the whole thing. I'm a huge Irwin fan. I remember when Derek and Mindy did their routine to their dad. And Robert just looked it so beautiful. He had such great musicality. His lifts were amazing. His contemporary movements were just flawless. I don't know why Carrie Ann gave him an 8, especially, and I'm going to talk about this later, when Dylan got all nines. I felt like Robert and Whitney deserved to have all nines, and they should have been at the top of the leaderboard with Dylan and Daniela, but I'll talk about that later. Next, we have Elaine and Alan with their foxtrot. I actually loved this choreography. I loved the trio section. I felt like Alan's choreography really intertwined Lisa or their dedication person the best. All the other dances, they were good, but I felt like Alan really used Lisa, found her strengths, and really incorporated her well in the choreography. I will say with Foxtrot, they need to watch their transitions in and out of frame. And I do agree with Kim and Derek. I would have given them an 8. However, in Foxtrot, the frame is so essential that I understand why they docked a point for those frame critiques. All right, next up we have Whitney and Mark with a contemporary routine. Once again, Mark's choreography was amazing. I really love that beginning pose, and I didn't realize Connor had that much dance ability. I will say that there were some timing issues. This was a little bit shocking for Whitney because she actually has a degree in modern dance from college. So I was actually kind of expecting a little bit more, but like I always say, a setback propels you for a comeback. And I think next week she's going to take this feedback and she's going to come back even better and even stronger. Then we have Jen and Jan with a Viennese waltz. Once again, such a beautiful dance. I did enjoy the more contemporary nuances that Jan put in this choreography. However, agreeing with the judges, it created too much of a floaty quality, and not to be a Carrie Ann lift police, but her feet came off the ground a lot. And in Viennese waltz, your feet can't come off the ground because that's how you lose the momentum. So it was a little bit too much floatiness to the quality of movement. Also with Jen, I don't know if it was just because this is such a significant night and she's obviously dancing for her mom and her kids, but I did feel a sense of nervousness. I felt like over the past 2 weeks, she's been coming into her own. She's been commanding the ballroom floor. And I felt like today, charisma wise, she took a step back, but I think it was just the nerves and she just wanted this dance to be so important and amazing that I think she got a little bit overwhelmed by that. But overall, she did a good job. Next up, we have Dylan and Daniela. I've got to say, the little kids on this show were just killing it. The little sisters, the daughters, they are just future stars in the making. I did notice that he is commanding the room a lot more. He feels more comfortable, he feels more grounded. Um, Once again, I'm not mad that he got all nines. I just wish that that same mentality was used for Robert Irwin's dance. And this is just me being a little bit picky, but I actually would have liked to see if they used more of an acoustic remix of the song to create more of a grounded, raw approach versus a more staged approach. It felt a little bit leaning into the jazz territory, not saying it's not good, but it felt a little bit too high energy in a sense. I would have liked to see maybe an acoustic remix of the song and see how that would have affected the dance.